Bayville, New Jersey, a town which once was an old era place for soldiers and workers the like to congregate. And a flagpole once stood here by Central Avenue on the corner that was a stop in the train station along a mighty railroad that traveled to New York City and Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., passing right through here as I sneak into the woods looking out into the street. And the bay from which the town had its name cast drew pirates, soldiers, and war criminals the like throughout its history as an ancient port and valuable place in the country. Old houses such as this, built in around the 1700s, had men of all times and era come through and probably see their fate. One man was chased by the Tories, I believe, in this town during the Revolutionary War era, and was captured maybe or killed, something to that effect, right here in town. You got the road that travels behind it, and whence you have this giant tree which has seen many lives, and the sand pits of Bayville and pine trees, and have secret factories like this. As you drive along the coast, you see the bay, and on the opposite side of the island, the ocean, and the graves of those who came before us from 100 years ago to 200 years ago, and probably even older than that. People have been around in this town since the Revolutionary War times, and before that the Native Americans were here, the Lenni Lenape, and people have been here a long time. As you can see, just walking through a neighborhood randomly in the town of Bayville, you will encounter a raised graveyard that was once part of a property owned by a farmer who owned the land and buried his dead family on his land. That was the family graveyard, and it just so happens to randomly sit on a public street in a neighborhood with houses, but still there it is. And I believe this is also a pretty old house. This actually, in fact, may be the house I was referring to when I say the Tories chased a man, a revolutionary, a soldier of some kind. You can see the wagon tracks there behind the house. Here, one of my favorite recreational places, Route 9 zone, Blackbeard's Cave, named after the famous pirate. And once again, pirates like, who knows, maybe Blackbeard and Captain Kidd himself walked all around these lands and knew these areas very well. Here you can see me descending the stairs of a once mighty miniature golf beacon that has obviously been probably hurt by COVID and things of that nature, but it's still a cool place. I had a birthday party there. And one of my favorite shops, of course, in Bayville, New Jersey, Conquest Comics. That is a place that I'm at, I don't want to say daily, but maybe daily. And right down the street from the comic shop, you got the old vinyl dinosaur, rocking and rolling on the inside, selling antique and new equipment, the best vinyl records around, CDs, cassettes, books, instruments. That's another spot for a rock and roller guy like me. We got the world's largest champagne bottle, which is a roadside attraction on Highway 9, like I mentioned earlier, that Bruce Springsteen sang about many years ago. With a giant champagne bottle, tourist attraction, and a landmark. And of course, another landmark, the old taxidermy dinosaurs. Getting right up in his face, not many people can do that. another spot that those Civil War soldiers and probably Revolutionary War soldiers alike were hanging out. Who knows what the land looked like back then? But you got Cedar Creek right here, Dudley Park, Cedar Creek, very old historic spot. People want to come. The water's only about knee deep, and it's about 30 degrees most of the time. I mean, it's not frozen, but you know. And here you got the trestle that goes over that creek. So my family's been here since the 40s. I love this town. My family built this town, and this town built me. I've always loved it here. I walked around and I filmed some stuff showing you just exactly some of the cool spots in Bayville. Oh, it's not a tourist video or anything, but you know, you can check it out and hopefully you liked it. And that's Bayville, baby. Rock and roll.